Welcome to my new channel, everyone. Good evening. I'm going to be talking about Biden and his climate summit, which happened a few weeks ago. I haven't had a chance to talk about it yet. I've been discussing other topics, but I'm going to be giving you my thoughts or what I think and how it went down. First of all, I want to get rid of the elephant in the room. If you notice this image here, this is from the Sun paper, and you can see all the world leaders arriving on the summit. But if you notice Biden here, he's got face mask on, and it's quite funny because the whole world is literally laughing at Biden. I mean, he's all the way here by himself. There's no one around him. There's no need for him to put a face mask on, and it is kind of funny, kind of idiotic. It just makes the whole summit into a farce, really. It's just really yeah, Biden does silly little things, really, and it's just people just laugh at him rather than take him seriously. So I don't think anyone took this summit seriously. So I want to kind of give you my thoughts, really. Okay, so the summit happened. The summit was mainly organized by Biden, and the main two people he wanted to be invited is Xi Jinping and Putin. And the reason he wanted them to is because China is the world's biggest coal burner, and China has to, because China is the world's biggest factory, and China manufactures everything for the whole world, so they will need a lot of energy. But China's coal usage has actually been going down for the past 10-20 years. If you look at their renewables, their nuclear, they've got the renewables are going up, the nuclear plants are going up, and their coal usage is going down. They're doing a lot over the past 10-20 years, and satellite images have proved that China is becoming more and more greener. Their deserts are turning into greenery, and I'm going to be discussing that in a different channel. So I want to kind of talk about this summit, really. So what came out of this summit? Well, Biden has agreed to cut carbon emissions by half by 2030. So this is what Biden has agreed with the rest of the world. Putin and Xi turned up last minute. They were not, nobody was sure if they were going to turn up to this summit, but Putin and Xi turned up. And the reason they turned up, they did, because if they did not turn up, America would have just been throwing more bullets at them, saying, "Oh, look at these huge, polluters. They're not taking the world seriously. They're the reason for climate change. Blah blah blah." It just would have given America more ammunition to hit China, really. So it's good that Xi turned up, really, and he did turn up with a few days he came last minute. He was only coming in a few days. He only agreed to come in a few days before, and Putin only came in to support Xi because Russia does not care about climate change. I mean, they're welcoming climate change, because if climate change occurs, Russia, Siberia is just going to turn into massive greenlands, which Russia will welcome, really, because for them that part of the world is going to become green, and most of the other parts are just going to be too hot or desertified. So Russia is welcoming climate change, really, and melting of the polar North Sea caps and sea ice will mean Russia will have a northern sea route, which they are welcoming. Anyway, the reason Putin came in is to support China and support Xi Jinping, and it's good that he was there. I mean, he didn't really say much, nor did Xi, really, but Biden did promise to cut carbon emissions by half by 2030. So I want to talk about why this is a joke. Really, it's just bullshit, to be honest. Mind my language, really. So I'll tell you why I think this is all bullshit. By 2030, Biden is not going to be alive. I'll tell you that now. I mean, the guy can't even put two sentences together. Can't even walk straight. You know, I mean, you're talking about another 10 years. He's not going to be a president by 2030. For him to promise to cut emissions by half by 2030 is just lying, really. He's just giving himself more time, because there is no way in hell that the US will cut their carbon in half by 2030. If they do, I'll run naked around London. Basically, I do not believe this will happen. Three reasons why I do not believe this will happen. Number one, Biden will not be president in the next 4 years, and that's guaranteed. I mean, if he's still alive, he still won't be president. There'll be somebody else replacing him in 4 years. Number two, Trump might come back into power, and he might, people might vote for Trump again in 4 years. You never know. And when Trump comes in, what do you think he's going to do? He's just going to throw this in the bin like he did with the Paris climate. He's just, the Americans, really, they don't really do long-term planning. They can't do long-term planning. For him to promise something to cut in half by 2030, 4 years down the line, when the next president comes in, he's just going to throw that in the bin, and the next president will have his own policies. Like when Trump came in, he got out of the Paris Accord, and now Biden's back in the Paris Accord. So it's just ridiculous, really. It's just a farce. It's just something for the papers, really. I don't think any country is taking this seriously, and I don't think America is taking it seriously. The Paris Accord is a much better way to reduce carbon around the world, and the Paris Accord, it has a plan, it has action plan by all the countries, and it's a step-by-step guide of what each country is doing. And that's the way to do it, really, not by a summit and few leaders come on and say, yeah, I'll reduce it. There's no plan. There's nothing, really. It's just a show for the cameras. So I want to kind of talk about America, why they cannot also, and number three, why they cannot reduce emissions by half by 2030. And number three is probably the most important thing, is America loves oil. America, the whole country is about oil. Their cars are 6 liters, 8 liters, 10 liters, 12 liter, engines, and they just love their oil over there. I mean, America's fascination with oil goes back to the Wild West, and and that fascination is not going to end. They just love their oil too much. America, the whole economy is based on oil, so there is no way you're looking at reducing emissions by half by 2030. There is no way, because same with guns, Americans love oil too much. The difference between China is China has got more of a fascination with coal, but China is a new developed country. So it's only 40 years ago China was poor, had nothing, but now it's only the last 30-40 years that it's developing. So they're developing new technologies, they're developing the future, and their country is not based on oil or coal. They're working towards the future, and you have to look at the things that China has done, and I'm going to be doing a separate channel about this and talking about all the work that China's been done for the climate, and that's a separate topic in itself. But for this topic, I just want to kind of give you my thoughts. So, as a summary, I do not think this is going to work, and it's a complete failure, and it's just a show for the cameras and just a show for the world, really, that America is back. But reality, they're not back. 4 years down the line, they're just going to forget about this, like they did with Paris Accord. And I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Anyway, subscribe and like and share my channel, and I'll speak to you guys soon.